We are the restaurant brokers, and we sell restaurants.
We started the nation's largest restaurant brokerage firm over a decade ago.
Atlanta, Georgia was our starting point, but our brand is spreading nationwide. We define restaurant brokerage and help buyers just like these.
Our dream, our goal, open up a restaurant, loving life, serving people breakfast and lunch, and then enjoying the rest of the day with them and ourselves.
Buying an existing restaurant, leasing a closed restaurant space, or purchasing a restaurant franchise. We help buyers satisfy their appetite for acquisition.
I'm part of a husband and wife team with this fella.
Working with my wife has been a lot of fun. The ultimate goal for everybody here is to make this work. And because we have different strengths, we bring different angles to the deal.
The process begins with our powerhouse website, WeSellRestaurants.com, where buyers sign online confidentiality agreements and browse restaurants for sale.
Then we send buyers undercover to check out a restaurant and decide if it's the right one for them.
Buyers get our proprietary business analysis tool with all the financial details on the business for sale.
After studying the restaurant inside and out, it's back to our office.
We are deal makers. We write contracts and negotiate terms for buyers and sellers. That's why we sell more restaurants than any other firm in the nation. We are the restaurant brokers. Our name says it all. You know the sound. We're back on the air, and this time we are talking restaurant reality. Eric, the whole show today with Robert Irvine was a lead-in to restaurant reality, because I got to tell you, for a Food Network star and someone who makes his living in this industry and has been in and out of everything from cooking in the Army to cooking on a cruise ship, this man absolutely pulls no punches when it comes to reality.
I tell you what, if you are just joining us now on this segment, you need to go back and listen on our iTunes channel or somewhere on our podcast, the first two segments. It was an entire show of restaurant reality today with Robert Irvine. I mean, he was straight to the truth. If you are in the business or thinking about getting into business, this is definitely the show that you want to listen to before you make commitment, or if you're searching for something magic here, this is the guy you want to listen to for that we just heard. I mean, it was unbelievable, the straight down to the heart of it. I mean, he is no frills guys. I mean, he will tell you exactly where it is, what it is. And, we're going to talk something about the restaurant reality that we, Robin, unfortunately see. We're not on camera every week like Robert Irvine have millions of people. Well, we see what he sees every single day oftentimes.
I love the fact that he actually uses one of the metrics that we talk about in our book, Appetite for Acquisition, is when you're going into this business, how much reserve capital do you need to have in the bank? And he said 6 months of expenses, 6 months of your proposed revenue, and then on top of that, a rainy day fund. I mean, that is what will get you through those first 12 to 18 months that you're going to struggle until that revenue line catches up with the fixed costs and you're over the hurdle and you're making money in the business. Don't you agree?
Yeah, so, be well capitalized. So that's one of the biggest things we heard today. I mean, people get into business sometimes with less money because they believe that they will hit the home run on the first pitch. And you will get there, but you need time. And sometimes you need to have the money to be on time. I mean, how many times we go as a restaurant broker, beautiful restaurants, great chef, great menus, and you're like, why is this restaurant not getting there? It just haven't been discovered yet. There's just not been enough time, and they don't have enough money to tell the world how beautiful this place is and how great it is because they spend all their money overbuilding, overspending on staff, or delays and
overspacing.
You can have a beautiful 2,000 square foot restaurant instead of we needed the 5,000 square feet because on Friday night we're busy. Well, one night a week doesn't justify the double the size, right?
Exactly, and those are fixed costs that you live with forever. And the reality of the business is you make sure you line up a team of individuals who can help you in advising you on those things before you go into the business, or on the back end of it, take a critical eye at your own situation. Pretend that you're Robert Irvine coming into town. He's not prepped on these restaurants. He said he drives into town and starts looking at the competitive landscape. Then he starts looking at your menu. Put on your critical glasses today. Is your menu too large? What is your food cost? Are you overserving the least profitable item on their menu and underserving the most profitable items on the menu? Have you trained your staff? Have you updated your marketing, your logo? Even if that logo is time-honored, can you make it three-dimensional and make it pop and make it relevant? Are you on social media? Are you doing the things that you have to be doing in order to keep your business relevant in today's competitive landscape?
Yeah, and building your team, something that we take to heart very seriously. Us as a restaurant broker, one of the special secret sauce of We Sell Restaurants is we have a team. We know people. We know accountants. We know attorneys. We know contractors. We know liquor license facilitators. We know everybody you may think of, and a lot of people that have worked with us will tell you. I mean, I've got a guy that called one time and says, hey, my water heater broke down. Do you have a plumber I can use? And the answer is yes, we do. So building a team around you is so critical because these people will help you. If you like doing your books, I get that. I mean, you're passionate about the front of the house, the back of the house. You love that part of it. Hire a CPA, but hire one that knows the restaurant business. So
I was at a closing last week, Eric, and the buyer, I didn't represent the buyer. I only represented the seller. And the buyer is sitting there taking phone calls because he's moving the insurance and doing this thing and that thing. And as his broker was sitting there, I overheard him on the phone with his insurance agent saying that his policy for his delivery vehicle was going to be over $5,000 a year. And I said, oh, my gosh, that's crazy. And he said, do you know someone that can do it for less? And I start pulling out my phone and giving him contacts for an insurance agent and contacts for this and contacts for that. And he was so grateful. I saw yesterday I was copied on an email to this guy. He's going to save about $7,000 a year totally between two restaurants by using this resource. And one thing we want to make clear, we don't ever take any referral fees or pass on any fees. We just don't believe in that. We just believe in giving you the best possible sources. But that's an important part of having the right folks on your team as well.
That's right. It is so important. And, Robert said something. I mean, a lot of you people out there come sometimes and talk amongst friends and say, hey, I cook a meat hamburger and I think I can open a restaurant. Well, it may be true. But you got to be real. You got to have the will. You have to be realistic with yourself. Okay, cooking a dozen hamburgers for 20 people at your home is very different than try to cook 300 hamburgers in an hour and a half between 5 and 7 o'clock or something on a Friday night in a very oversized kitchen compared to your home. And so learning. I mean, he said go work for 2 years. I mean, how many people we've told that? And I'm not saying you have to do this literally 2 years, but how many of you would be willing to work in a restaurant or shadow somebody or be an intern for free? To go see somebody that's done really well in the business and shadow them around for months on end, maybe a day a week.
Remember when we interviewed G. Garvin a while back? He said the exact same thing. He was an intern for free for a year when he was in high school so that he could learn the business, and he knows every single job in the industry now.
Yeah, and G. Garvin's pretty good success right now, so you can learn from that. So don't be afraid, even if you're in the business right now, don't be afraid to go to someone else that's not a competitor. If you're in the pizza business and you always want to learn something about desserts, well, go and intern with one of the best pastry chef in your local area and go learn from him. Just say, hey, I'll come here and work for free. I mean, I'll start. I'll whatever I can do at the bottom. I'll sweep the floor just to watch you operating. So be honest with yourself and work on that. I think that's a great asset that you would have that would carry you a long way.
And speaking of Restaurant Impossible, we have often on sale on our website at WeSellRestaurants.com, often what we refer to as an asset sale. And that really is a Restaurant Impossible type situation. It's a restaurant that's ripe for a reinvention, an update, a retrofit into a very viable restaurant, but it may be someone who went and undercapitalized, someone who spent too much on the build out, and now when we say an asset sale, it means it's not making any money, so they are ready to move it out. And the great thing about a situation like that, Eric, is that they are very, very inexpensive. You take advantage of someone else's build out and all the capital that they pumped into it, and you can pick it up on the back end very, very inexpensively.
Yeah, and a word of caution, when you see asset sale, whether it's from the brokers at We Sell Restaurants or listings at WeSellRestaurants.com, pretty much what you see is what you get. So you're not going to have a lot of books or records or other intangible information. And you must focus on what can you do with what's in there in front of me and what can I take it out in the future, not what happened in the past. Like Robin said, it could be a million different reasons. So, for instance, we have in Middle Georgia a phenomenal bakery that is fully equipped. I mean, for Baker's Dream, whether you want to do cakes and pastries or whatever it is. So it's fully equipped. $44,995 for a bakery. That's listing number 4343. You can't even buy a tenth of this equipment at used price for this ready to go in turnkey situation.
See, I love those, and I love it when somebody calls me and they say, what's wrong with this restaurant? And I say, let me tell you what's right with this restaurant. Let me tell you about what the opportunity is to get into a business like this for under $50,000 versus the poor person who started at the beginning that spent hundreds of thousands more for that particular restaurant. You can find that listing, many other listings online on our website, WeSellRestaurants.com. This is Eric and Robin Gagnon. We are the Restaurant Brokers. Remember, We Sell Restaurants is the industry leader in restaurants for sale, franchise restaurant retails, and site location for the food service industry. Join us every week on this station as we serve up your recipe for business success.